Hey guys, Benji here, and welcome back to an all-new and final episode of the Facerocker Podcast, episode 100, hashtag full hundo. We did it. For all of you who've been with us since episode 1 to now, and for all of you who just showed up last week, we can't thank you all enough for coming and hanging out with us each week. We know we enjoyed it. It was a fantastic way for us to get to know all you and for you to get to know us, and it was a great excuse for us to hang out with our buddies once a week. So we really can't thank you all enough, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. For today's episode, we brought back the old gang. It's Matt, Freddie, Dez, Logan, and pizzas and beer and talking about deep, crazy, weird, wild, whatever. They go over what life was like 5 years ago when we started this thing to what life is like for everybody now. And it's amazing what can change in that span of time. And it's a really fantastic chat. We think you guys will have a blast listening to it. Other than that, we really want to thank our sponsors as well, especially Loot Crate. Loot Crate's sponsoring us right now. And if you don't know what Loot Crate is, they're a subscription box service that once a month for $20, they're going to send you over $40 worth of goods like geek, collectible, gamer, cheap, nerdy, cool pop culture stuff. This month's theme, because they theme their box every month, and after that month, they don't make that one anymore and you can't get those goods anymore. This month, the theme is Galaxy. That's right, Star Wars. So that means you're going to get stuff from Force Awakens. There's some stuff from Halo. There's exclusive Funko Pop characters and some other things, but it's pretty much like a stocking once a month. And they're hooking you up right now. If you go to lootcrate.com/Facerocker and you use the promo code Facerocker, you'll get $3 off your subscription. Now, you have until the 19th at 9 p.m. each month to sign up for that month's themed Loot Crate. After that, they don't sell it anymore. So that means you'll have one more day to sign up for this thing to get this Star Wars gear before it's gone and you can't get it anymore. And we know how sweet Star Wars gear is. Also, you guys are wondering like, hey, where are you going? Why are you stopping this? What's happening? We're not just leaving. We just kind of moved our platform a little bit. We're over on Twitch right now. We stream 3 days a week, twitch.tv/RocketJump. We're at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Come hang out with us. We're doing almost the same thing, except we're just playing games at the same time. We're bringing in people that are in the shorts, we're bringing in guests, we're bringing in friends, and we're hanging out with each other just like normal. And you can come and you can interact with us live instead of waiting for the comments to come back to you. Come hang out with us and we'll hang out with you. It's going to be a big party. Come check it out. Last but not least, just want to remind you all to check out RocketJump The Show on Hulu. We've got a free week trial subscription for you if you head to rocketjump.com/Hulu. Go check it out. Go binge on the episodes. It's a fantastic show. We're really proud of it. We hope you guys will like it, and we think it'll make us look good in the eyes of Hulu. So hook us up. Go use the trial. It'll be awesome, and we think you'll really enjoy the show. But until then, again, we just can't thank you all enough. We're not going anywhere. Come hang out with us. We're still going to be around. Just this show is sadly closing its doors. And right now, here it is, the final Facerocker episode, episode 100, hashtag full hundo.
Welcome, late.
Oh God!
No, like
you know what?
Chicky Boo embargo.
We're proud of Chicky Boo. We'll talk about Chicky Boo. I started already, and it already just got railroaded. By
Hey,
Logan.
that's how
That's
we've
how
always
it's
done
always
it.
been, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is the end.
Episode 100.
Episode 100, the century, and we are done. This is our final Facerocker podcast. Maybe not our final podcast, but
There's
certainly
like
the final Facerocker podcast.
There's like one guy who's like, wait, what?
Now we're shutting the doors of RocketJump in general.
Yeah.
but we're also
This is the last piece of content we're doing.
Matt and Dez to my left, and joined by podcast veteran for the final time, Logan.
Hey guys.
And really quick,
Sad to be
and
here.
we got all the fan favorites about this podcast. Logan is in fact scarfing down pizza right in front of the microphone.
I managed to requisition the table from the
He
center of
pulled
the
the
room.
table to his feet. That's it, guys.
This was a good podcast.
This has been great.
So let's be honest.
That was
let's
it.
Be honest. Let's be honest. If you were to rate this podcast on iTunes, which many of you have, and we thank you for it, what would you have actually rated this?
The rest of you,
C?
thanks for missing that opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would have even taken the energy to give it a 1 star. Like I probably would have been like, this was, and then just not. I would have
See, the
nothing.
problem is Logan was the one piece of glue that held this bad boy together. What can we say, Logan?
Well,
How does it feel?
I think
He
we could.
shoves the rest of his
I think
pizza
it's.
into his mouth.
We should. I thought we could end with talking about the beginning a little bit.
Yeah,
Sure.
And,
Real quick, I'm gonna
and
pop
reminisce.
this. I'm gonna pop this bottle.
Pretty
You
celebrating.
remember when we were
Is that
so
sparkling
serious about
cider?
it?
It is sparkling cider.
Martinelli's. I have a whole bottle of Martinelli's.
Do you
which
guys
I
remember like
intend on
5 years
consuming.
ago when we were like, we're going to record 2 podcasts at night
Yeah.
because we were gonna get so legit. with our
Podcast. Well,
podcast.
5 years ago, podcast was the thing.
Yeah. No, I think it's more the thing now.
Well, do you guys remember how this podcast got started? Started. Like the very first one, it was before RocketJump existed.
Yeah.
It's still Facerocker.com, which was like a blog.
It was
a
a
blog
WordPress
post.com.
theme.
WordPress.
Yep.
Is WordPress still around as people who
Yes.
still do
Yeah.
and we had sunglasses as our logo.
that?
Yeah.
Super cool.
It was pretty cool.
Back when we had the dream, but real quick, I just want to tell a quick story because this is the hardest I've ever called anything in my entire life.
The Facebook thing?
No. The hardest I've ever called anything in my entire life was we were putting together podcasts and we're like, oh, Logan could do a podcast and then we could do a podcast and let's do a little podcast network and who else should be on this? And I had heard 2 episodes and they were like 3 episodes into this. I had heard 2 episodes of this show called Welcome to Night Vale. And I was like, this is
Just this
brilliant.
little ditty.
It was. I was like, this is what they weren't even hosting it. I was like, this is brilliant. These guys are really smart. I really think this is gonna be something huge. So I emailed them. I'm like, hey guys, what if we just paid for your podcast? Like, what if we covered all your costs? Because I think you guys are awesome. And the guy was fucking smart. He goes, turns around, and he was like, thanks, man, I appreciate it.
No, we're good.
We're good. And I was like,
I heard your face rocker podcast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're fine.
Had the production value been
It felt like just a month.
Shows
later.
them. I bet they wish they had taken that deal.
Best thing we never did, guys. Best thing we never did.
but like I remember going around. I remember going around people and being like, have you heard this? This is
What's
amazing.
Night Vale? I'm missing out.
You actually don't know what
wait,
Night Vale
back
is?
up.
I
never
heard
heard
that
about
it's a
this?
thing.
Yeah, it's like the
It was X-Files.
number 1 or 2 podcasts.
So it's like
Monster of
Goosebumps
the
with your
Week, you had
voice?
serialized.
No, it's actually think of it as like it's public access radio from the town of like Goosebumps.
The town where Goosebumps happens.
Who's
Yeah.
that guy that you listen to on the radio late at night, Des?
Art
Like-
Bell.
So it's kind of like Art Bell.
It's a
For-
mix
for
of like
the-
Art Bell
for the
meets,
iPod generation.
Kind of. Yeah, sure.
It's a mix of like Art Bell
picture that,
meets like X-Files meets Monsters of the Week kind of. It's just smart. It was good.
Still is.
Still is.
To be fair, it was called. Never mind.
But I want you guys to. I want to see if you guys remember this the same as I do.
Yeah, recollect with us.
How
here.
I remember this starting was me emailing Matt being like, "Let's make a podcast about video games." And then
I think you're right. Did
Yeah.
we talk to each other back then?
yeah, because you were sleeping on a couch like in Freddie's loft.
Yeah.
And
I remember you're right,
back
you
then,
did.
Yeah, back then, I don't think Matt, you had directed any outside of like maybe like a class at USC,
Yeah.
anything ever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
And you were actually making a video game for Facerocker,
Yep.
which we don't need to talk about.
Marvelot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the marble game. And I was and
Logan refuses to call it by its name.
Marvelot.
The marble game.
Yes, and
a game which was shuttered the moment Unity updated, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
That's harsh that Unity had to do that to
I
you.
call it Matt's learning experience.
yeah, but from that you managed to acquire somebody who would later go on to do stuff that isn't video games. So
Yeah.
it all worked out in the end. It was like investing in a person rather than the idea.
Yeah.
But me and Matt definitely have strong opposing viewpoints in most things, just
Yeah.
in general.
Very, very hardcore viewpoint.
And so it was like, let's make a podcast for video games. And then
It was like a crazy, clever idea. It was like 2 people with different opinions.
It's so crazy.
Talking about video games.
It's like
Never
hardball.
before has anything on the internet ever seen that. But
It's
yeah.
hardball, but for video games. Is
Yeah.
how I think we were imagining.
That was not
it.
how you pitched it.
But then
like Chris Matthews.
Why did he want to
softball.
do that?
I don't know. I just wanted to argue with you, I guess. And then Freddie's like, I got all this sweet sound engineering equipment,
I wanna
and
be
this is
part
a
of this."
great reason to invest in some new microphones. So let's record it.
Yeah.
And then
And then somehow we ended up with 100 episodes
I
of
don't think
this.
we ever talked about video. We very rarely talked
yeah,
about
it
video games.
had-
And also, did you see the one where Matt did talk about video games and everybody was just like losing their shit on Matt?
why?
Because Matt was like, I think Metal Gear
Oh, I
Solid
wish
is-
you were on this one because we would have agreed. We're talking about Metal Gear Solid.
It's a poopy game.
Yeah, it's a poopy game.
but I will tell you, based on the comments, they think that not only is Matt's opinion a poopy opinion, they think he's a poopy person because he thinks it's such a poopy game.
You can't judge a person based on their poopy opinions of Metal Gear Solid.
Apparently you
Well,
don't
I'm
know
not
folks that
sure if
listen
you-
to this podcast.
I'm not sure if you've been on the internet, Logan. But this podcast started this. I remember the first episode. I remember he actually.
It's the first time somebody was liked less than Anthony Burch. Like Anthony Burch was on that podcast and they were all hating on me.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And by the way, if you want any evidence of how like what's Reddit's demographic, like okay, real quick, the entire LAUSD school system shut down today.
Yeah.
It's a red traffic spike.
Well, no, but I'll tell you what was the front, the very tip top of Reddit all day? Kojima fired officially by Konami now, and he's talking like. Really?
Did it happen?
Yes, it did. Yeah, but like, really, this random video game news is the most important, most upvoted thing of the day. Okay, I guess I know exactly what Reddit is at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that is more interesting than the school thing, to be honest.
Depends on who you ask.
I do remember the first episode though. Thinking,
do?
yeah, because it ended
don't.
really well. Because it had a good ending.
Wait,
because
did
we were
have
pitching
Logan DJing or something?
No, we were pitching
Yeah, that was
dumb
way
movie
later.
ideas. And there was that one that we'd come up with one that just sent us into just a laugh tizzy. It was the idea of like the time travelers, like a Jewish conspiracy to send time travelers back in time to like kill Hitler, but Hitler survives. And he's like, what's going on? You know. And anyway,
I think I see where you're going.
but I
with
remember
that
being
one.
like, I remember at that time being like, this podcast has got legs.
Logan, when and why did you stop doing the podcast?
You guys just stopped inviting me.
That's not
No, that's not true. That's not true.
For
That's
the
not
record,
true.
that's
That's
not true.
Yeah, no, it's true.
true.
I gave every single
true.
time I was invited.
So not true.
I mean, this shows is like it was just us just dicking around, and then when Logan left, we lost all glue. We
Yeah.
couldn't do anything, and we tried to replace him with celebrities and famous people, and literally
And it didn't
that
work.
was worse. It did
Yeah.
not work at all because it was just us being like it was just three bad interviewers, just
Yeah.
like so
Staring at a
hey,
celebrity.
No, hold on, real quick. I will say the Key and Peele one was actually good.
Well, no, there's some good ones. Like Grace Helbig was really fun because she can actually like.
I think this is a great time to cut to those clips.
Yeah, we should cut
Yeah.
those clips.
We had
And we're back.
the backyard VFX guys were interesting. Justin Johnson and his
We're
his
not
pal.
interviewers. Like we're not even podcasters.
I got a
All
question
we
Yeah.
for
can
you
do
guys.
shoot
Who is your
shit.
favorite guest on the podcast? Starting with Matt. We'll work our way down. Matt, who is your favorite guest on? Not to say they're all great,
Yeah.
in case you know them or some shit, but if you had to choose one as your favorite podcast guest.
Honestly, it was Ashley and Anthony Birch,
Okay.
and now they work here.
Because of that podcast, you're like,
No,
you're so
but
great.
Based on the
I-
podcast
Stick
alone.
around.
Freddie always hung out with them, and I was like, "They seem like cool people," but Freddie never invites me to hang out with them outside of work. So I
Why
never
were they?
really
Why
talked
were
to
they
him.
cool? Why
Huh?
were they cool?
I don't know why.
How are people cool, Logan? Why don't you let us know?
What made them good podcast guests?
Oh, I mean, they're both funny people, and they're siblings, and their sibling stories were funny. Reminded me of my sibling stories.
How about you, Des?
It's a close tie. Loved hanging out with Harley.
Oh yeah.
Harley was a
always a
podcast
good
guest. I forgot
time.
about that.
Harley's always a good time, but I gotta say Key and Peele. Those guys are just fascinating, and they're just gods of comedy. And hearing about their
Because
process is awesome.
Because we actually had a really good, deep, like from a perspective of like making shit.
Yeah, from maker to maker.
Conversation. Because as opposed to like most of their things that they ever interview, it's always like, so tell us about the thing and kind of be promotional and stuff. And we were able, because we had worked with them on that video on Mexican Standoff, we were able to go in and be like,
Talk about psychology.
the
and
process
approach
of it,
and-
which
yeah.
I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's a ability, that's a perspective that we can get.
I forget his name, but who was the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes guy? That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That was a podcast that me and Freddie loved. Everybody else thought was boring, but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought it was pretty boring. I was there.
Logan hated it.
That's why you were there. Me and Freddie kept asking questions.
I was
We
like,
even got feedback from our guests on that podcast about
our favorite one was,
He was
about-
bored?
about yeah, he did not even dig the podcast.
harsh. Actually, honestly, and this was before Milana started doing all the Verizon commercials or
Yeah,
AT&T
well,
commercials.
yeah.
But the two,
Awkward.
Live Crew Girls,
Live Crew Girls.
which was Milana and Stevie. That was the hardest I've laughed at the podcast.
That's
And
funny.
also, I like that one because that was an interesting podcast we go back to because it starts off and they are having none of it.
Yeah.
They were not like at all. But like at the 50-minute mark, the last 10 minutes is actually a really interesting conversation. But it literally takes most of it to break through like the stony, cynical comic exterior to actually. And I was like, oh, that's
doing a
interesting.
bit for an hour.
Until the very end, and
Yeah,
the
it was
very end was
interesting.
really interesting.
But we all agree, like, no, like those podcasts were terrible. Like, I remember those podcasts. Like, it was great when it was like us and Logan.
Yeah.
And then we let's be honest, we like tried to be professional podcasters.
No, because the best part about
half-assed
the best
and
part
we're
half-assed
terrible.
it. We
We're
half-assed
terrible.
it.
No, because the best part about the whatever podcast with like Logan was that we came up with ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
Like the OK Cupid, I think is still the best one that we've ever done, which was
You
us.
still use that profile, Freddie?
No, I don't use Six String
I remember that one. I
Samurai.
remember.
that username?
No,
Oh,
I
you
said,
should use that.
no,
Logan,
I
you
do.
can have it. It's all yours.
Samurai?
Yeah.
What's your favorite bit?
I'm out of the
Logan?
dating game, guys.
Logan, what's your favorite bit?
I got a main lady. Huh?
What's your
favorite
favorite moment? What's your
Facerocker
favorite
bit?
moment in the whole 100-episode history of this wild podcast?
To be honest, I actually don't really remember any of what we did, but I do remember that I enjoyed hanging out with you guys and drinking a ton of your beer and eating your pizza.
I mean, that's pretty much what it was. I think you stopped coming to the podcast the moment you're like, you know what, it's a lot easier for me just to buy my own pizza and beer than drive to downtown LA.
Yeah,
and
but
talk for an hour.
no, it was. I think this kind of when at least when it hit its stride, it was mostly fun because everybody's so busy, right?
Yeah.
And we
was a
also
way of hanging out.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
way. It was basically a way
Excuse
for
to hang
hanging
out.
out, and
Yeah.
for a lot of people who do movie and TV stuff like you guys, because like Brian's the same way. He feels a lot more comfortable hanging out if he can somehow justify it.
Yeah,
as
that
being
makes
all
productive
the
work.
Forensic podcasts were fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
every
Yeah.
single one of
Absolutely.
them.
But
We should have
But,
never had guests. Should've
just your friends, because it's basically like I
Yeah.
think people like
That's
these
why
when
you
it
didn't
felt
know
like
there
they were
was
hanging out
guests.
with their friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I think that's when it was the most fun here was when it felt like you were hanging out with your
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
So it's sad that like now we'll actually, if we need to hang out, like we'll actually have to be hanging
real.
out.
Yeah,
It'll have to
we
be
can't.
We'll have to
We,
come
no
up with
production,
activities.
no
Awful.
productive, zero production.
I think we're just not hanging out
out.
anymore.
Yeah, sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll never see you guys again.
To be fair, the only time I see you is
this.
with these podcasts.
No, this is literally it. I think I will always remember you asking if I would let my wife use a dildo that was made from your sculpt of your penis.
I asked that.
Yeah, and then we
God,
talked
I don't
about and
remember
then there was a
this.
chocolate dildo.
Jesus,
It was like
this was
would
really
you,
lewd.
Yeah, it was. Would you eat a chocolate dildo that was cast from my penis?
And what was the answer?
I said sure, but it was a matter of like it wouldn't be the cast. It couldn't be the cast that like it couldn't have touched your penis. It was that. But even now, I don't think. Okay, how about you?
Would I eat my own dick?
Yes, yeah, that was the question.
No.
Look, would you eat your own dick?
Maybe just a little bit.
But seriously, would you eat your own dick?
That would be a weird restaurant. That'd be a weird restaurant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you
How
like.
bizarre would that be if I gave you for a present a chocolate penis that was cast from your penis? Your first question would be like, where did you get
Wait, I love that
Where
you
did you
somehow
get this?
secretly cast Logan's
Yeah,
penis
and really quick-
without him knowing.
Blow dart to the neck, quick fluff me up, drop it.
Fluff him, drop him, and fluff him.
Wait, do you think that if someone handed you a
No,
chocolate,
it wouldn't be erect. It would just be like your flaccid.
A sad, tiny
clearly-
baby
like,
dick,
Clearly,
flaccid dick.
clearly
Thanks,
you were asleep. And I just quickly put some latex on it.
So
Jesus.
here's a question. Logan. If Matt handed you a chocolate cast of your own dick, do you think you'd be able to recognize it right off?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, listen, you recognize it's what is it like? I know you like I know the back of my own hand.
Yeah.
Like counts for
But
dicks
do you
too.
think? Do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think back? Because I don't think people
Do
actually.
you think
recognize-
back and
No. I said. Do you think? I don't think that people recognize the back of their own hand as well as they claim to. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a saying.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, shouldn't it be? I recognize a chocolate mold in my dick anywhere.
I think
Yeah,
this
that's
is something.
what
Yeah,
I was
you go.
saying.
I think
Try
this is
it on
something.
for a week, Freddie.
Yeah,
see
I'll
if
give
it
it a shot.
sticks. I'll tell you how it goes.
Well,
guys.
I think we can empirically test this, right?
What?
Like we take enough. Like, would you recognize your own chocolate cast of your dick?
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
could test that. We could all make chocolate.
we can all, and then we can swap them and see if we recognize.
Like, wait, this isn't my dick.
Maybe for your guys' Easter party or something. But what was
Favorite
your, so?
moment?
What was it? I was going to ask. Okay, sure. What's your favorite?
You
moment,
go ahead.
guys?
Mine, honestly, I was gonna say Freddie talking about taking a bath was always fun, but when we had John Carmen on, and he was playing his little bleep bloop machine, you remember that?
right.
And he
Yeah,
sort of had
DJ's
a
just
bit of a
scratch.
nervous breakdown.
You got really upset. You wanted us to,
It
like,
wasn't
edit it out.
working, and he wanted us to cut it.
right.
And he was freaking out on air because the song
What's
just
this
wasn't coming
bleep
out right.
bloop
He had, like,
machine?
a-
DJ
These
Scratch
little
Scratch.
DJ pads, like these bass pads.
So we were like, "Yo, John, come
It was
on
pretty
by,
hilarious.
DJ, this set, and this podcast.
This is rough,
That's
man.
just-
Why
It
are you
was pretty
picking
rough.
on him?
He folded under pressure.
He did. He folded.
Yeah, pretty hard. He's like bleep, 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 but he's like, I don't know if I should do this live. We're like, it's not live. We're recording. You can keep going. He's just panicking during it.
It's pretty good.
What about
That's
you,
up
Freddie?
there.
What's your favorite moment?
Favorite moment. Oh gosh, I think it's because I remember because we didn't always used to record this in the most professional places. I remember we used to record this where I live, my place, and I always remember that specifically because I always thought that sounded the best in my place because my acoustics are off the chain. So actually, what was it? We did the OkCupid one. Going through the OkCupid one is probably the hardest thing I've ever laughed.
Do you guys actually ever listen to like the old podcasts?
I've
Like,
never listened
No.
to
I've
a
never
podcast.
like yeah.
I'm always shocked that anybody does. Like, I'm like, that's one thing my wife will never listen to.
Well,
my brother does.
I
though.
can't hear myself talk. I just refuse to do that. If it
It's
were
like
just
a
you guys,
medical
I would probably
condition.
listen to
But
it.
Freddie, you needed at least a long time ago. You needed to listen to them to make sure they like were acoustic.
Well, yeah, because I was mixing them back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
That would
When
make
did
poor
you stop
Benji
doing
do all-
that?
Listen to all this nonsense.
When did I stop doing that? When old Benji Dolly took over as mixmaster producer.
There's Benji over there. But so one other, so we've been talking about the podcast, but I thought the other thing that might be fun to reminisce about because like we should reminisce. It's like
Yeah,
That's the only reason.
Tis the season after
well,
all.
the other it is the season, but the other thing is like at least in my experience, there's very few things that like I plan to finish and we finish. Usually, if it's the last of something, it's like in retrospect, it's like, well, that didn't work. We won't do that again.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like summer camp where it's like you only think about it when you're there, but then
Yeah.
the last one you're like, man, summer camp, we had a lot of those, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's crazy.
turning point, foot
Exactly.
in the road.
And these are like we started these a long, like relatively speaking, for a bunch of like late 20-year-olds,
Yeah.
like a long time.
very
I
long.
mean, how long has it been? 6 years? 5 years?
Has it really?
It's been
It's
yeah,
before
6
VJHS, so
It was before RocketJump. It was.
God.
I'm pretty sure I was in like grad school, maybe.
yeah. It's like
That's
5 or
right,
6
you were.
years.
You were in grad school.
So
It's
like,
like a fourth of our lives.
so let's actually think because if you guys remember the very
God,
first
if
podcast,
you have a kid, would you let them listen to this?
no, God no.
Do you want us to delete it for your kid?
I
No.
like how you
Although,
have to say,
fun
I think
fact-
when you let them, like they would be desperately wanting to listen to their dad.
Well, like
Fun
if you,
talk
but if you
for-
learned that your dad was on like a radio show,
Talking about casting
okay, you're
his
being
dick
pretty
in
optimistic, saying
chocolate.
that we're a radio show.
No, I'm saying like if you knew that your dad if there was recorded media of your dad talking about dicks.
I would listen to it like if he died. I wouldn't be like, I'm
If
when he dies.
No, don't say that, Logan.
I'd be like, wait, there's 40. Like when you're 16, the last thing you want to do is listen to 40 hours of your dad talk to his 3 friends.
about dicks.
About dicks, because that's all we talk.
That's
about.
all we talk
You know what?
about.
It just occurred to me as you just brought up Benji as mixmaster producer, and I'm thinking about favorite moments. I remember you had Benji on once or twice.
Yeah.
We were recording out of 6, and he told some of his amazing stories from back in the
Yeah,
day.
he would never tell.
that he
probably
would
wishes
never
those were
tell. Now,
deleted.
Mr. Young Professional,
Yeah.
stories about all kinds of stuff that I won't say because I think he pulled them off the internet. He was so embarrassed.
Well, to be fair,
Literally,
like, I've
we've
actually
deleted episodes of the show.
yes,
there's
we have.
actually I asked Freddie.
we had to pull them.
There's a period of time where I'm pretty sure that podcasts were not on the internet because I asked Freddie to pull all of them because I was becoming a teacher.
Yeah.
So when I was a professor, did you just tell me you deleted them, or were they actually?
No,
pulled
you
from the
gave me
website?
some specific ones to yank.
Oh, really?
Didn't you say all Germans were Nazis one time or something like that?
No, but I definitely did anger all Germans.
Yeah, you said
with
something
a
like
remark
that.
about the Nazis.
Yeah, you said something.
But so where were you guys in your lives when we recorded the first podcast? Like, I thought it'd be like
We were living
showing
out-
people how far they can come. And
Just 5 short years.
Which is
Five
not.
short
After recording 100 podcasts.
Well, Matt, you
that's
were
all you have to do.
Yeah,
It's like
we got where we are today.
You guys ever read
thanks to
Outliers?
this. Get a microphone.
Malcolm
start recording.
Gladwell says record 100 podcasts and you'll be an expert.
Exactly.
Matt was living. Matt was sleeping. You didn't have your
Was
room
I?
yet.
I had left Disney at this point. I think.
Yeah, and you were in one.
just in
You were,
You had just left Disney.
Yeah, I think
as
I
a-
just left Disney.
What were you, like a associate coordinator?
No, as a producer.
How's
What
that
were you?
derisive thing at all to
You're
say?
such a jerk. What were you, like an associate?
Lonely associate.
I quit the moment I was
Throwing
given.
dirty socks at them, like throw that away.
I quit the moment I got my own game. They gave me my own
Sweet
project.
Marmalade.
No.
Oh, at Disney.
No, at Disney.
No, at Disney.
It was
Oh,
my
yeah.
own. It was
Yeah.
my own title, and then I left.
Did it ever
Go on
come
that
out?
trip. Yeah.
What was it called?
It was like the third Phineas and Ferb 3DS game.
Nice, man.
Yeah. Did you play it?
You could have been.
It was probably.
That could have.
There's
There's an
the
alternate.
second, but not as good as the first. You
There's
know?
an alternate universe where you're really a big deal.
No. Yeah. Name one person from Disney Interactive.
But so you had just quit.
What would have been Matt Arnold in this alternate universe?
Yeah. So you quit Disney and you were hard at work on your first indie game.
I had just gotten a really nice apartment in Burbank, and then I left. I got rid of it and was still paying it because I couldn't find somebody to sublease it for a while. So I was paying rent at this place in Burbank, and yet living on a bed with no walls inside Hunter Street. Well, I can't say that anymore. Yeah, now we got to beep it. Living inside Los Angeles County.
Downtown LA.
Downtown LA.
You were in Unit 1.
Yep.
You had no walls. You were living by...
You were living on a table.
Was Des
Yeah.
living?
Oh, that's right. It wasn't even the bed. It was
Put a mattress on a table.
Was Des living there yet? Were you living?
Yeah.
Des was there. He had a
there.
room. Des was there before me.
I had a room.
And you were still working, what? So you had Sweatshop as an independent company?
I don't even think I had it at that
So you were really just busting on trailers all the time for like video games.
I think at
and
that
stuff.
time I was in the throes of cutting.
It was
video
Call
game
of Duty at
trailers.
the time, wasn't it?
Call of Duty.
First
yeah.
one or second one? Second one.
I was working for I was working for a production company, and they like Activision co-signed us on to do all their.
But I remember you're like,
was a Black Ops,
Could,
I think.
you're
Oh,
like, I
that's
think
right,
I
that's
could
It was the first
make
Black
a
Ops
company and rent them my own equipment, and then so like.
Well, they basically,
yeah.
well, you know what it was? Is the producer called me and said, "Hey, we're going to do another Call of Duty commercial. I need you to put a budget together so we can go out and rent all the gear." And I was like, "Light bulb! I'll just buy all the gear. I'll tell them what it's going to cost me to buy it, and I'll say, look, it's going to be cheaper just to buy it than to rent it." And he bought it hook, line, and sinker. And a week later, I had a post-production company. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Man.
And Benji was still back in Indiana. No, you were at school probably, huh?
I was at school, but I showed up.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was living on the couch.
I showed up.
He was living on the couch.
Yep.
Evan,
Benji
Yeah,
and his
Benji
buddy
and his friend
Evan.
Evan.
Who you've seen in Video Game High School Season 1 as Kick Back
Yeah.
the Hoverball,
Kick back the hoverball.
was
I
living
don't-
on the couch.
When I think about the time, like I literally don't understand how my wife didn't leave me. The wife of the time.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, well, it surprises me every day. But no, I mean,
every day Matt
She's
wakes
a
up,
saint.
turns over.
That woman is a saint.
Well, there was
left. Still there.
But
There's
like,
a
Evan,
period
like-
in time where literally we all lived in one building,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? I lived in a room with no windows and
Yes.
shared a shower with,
with a
you two guys.
leaky sewage pipe.
Yeah,
over
and
your
sewage
head.
leaked on my bed.
Yes.
Wait, you lived at our place?
Yeah, remember?
The
And
room
you
that
would,
Benji took
you would just
over.
leave Blackadder running at full volume, and I'd wake up and Blackadder, like a 10-second loop just playing. I'd be like,
Dude, that
"Jesus
place was insanity.
fucking
Because
Christ."
Des would watch, for some reason, Des, while going to sleep, would watch horror movies as he goes to
So just
sleep.
be
Yeah.
screaming.
So I would,
It would be
but
the
it-
DVD
well, it
menu
goes
of
to
a horror
DVD
movie.
menu.
Ghosts screaming and wailing all
I
night.
wouldn't have a wall. I don't have walls, so I'd wake up at like 2 in the morning to go to the bathroom, which looks like something off Silent Hill. And then through the walls, I hear, it's just like some screaming DVD menu. I wake up, I walk across this like horribly dark warehouse, and Evan's sleeping on the couch, and I look over, I just see eyes on the couch looking at me at 2 in the morning. I'm just like, what is, like, this is what I left it
Dude, that place
at
was-
my apartment for? Like, was this fucking hellhole?
Nobody appreciates what we had to put ourselves through to record 100 episodes of this podcast.
That place was insane.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
And where were you, Freddie? You were
I
still working
totally
with
forgot you.
Brandon,
How
right?
long did you live with us?
Oh, 3 months.
Yeah,
It was short.
That's
It was
right. I
short.
do
It was-
remember. You brought what? Did he buy some exercise bullshit and then he wouldn't get rid of it? You bought like some bike that you never used, and then when you moved
the
out,
exercise bike.
you're like, I'm not taking it. You
want
got to deal with it. And we're like, where are we gonna put this?
But that's why Benji's so buff, is that exercise. But
No, that was way later.
I remember. Well, I think this was a time period where upstairs in Unit 3, it was Sam, Nico, Brandon, myself, and Jimmy.
Yeah, you guys lived in.
And it was all 5 of us, and we had just built walls. And Jimmy and I
Just
shared
built
a
walls, and most of you had a mattress just on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
No,
were.
Jimmy and Freddie had a bunk bed,
no,
but the
it
bunk
was like
bed
literally a brothel. Like it was literally
Yeah,
just like
no,
drywall
it was-
separating mattresses on floors.
It was. You know that scene in
Taken.
In Taken?
Taken
Yeah,
was
it's
so
a scene
cool.
in Taken.
I make you feel good. Yes, sir. I make you feel good.
It was.
Only instead of sex, it was like dudes cranking out VFX shots for money.
I was just never
Bizarre.
surprised. I just hear like shit would be getting stolen outside. I'd walk upstairs and there's just marijuana growing in the bathtub.
Jesus.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
place-
marijuana in the bathtub. Woman threw a woman with a grocery cart through a cinder block.
They
through the
film
windshield of my car one
pornos
day.
in the back occasionally.
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
coming back. Like, well, that was the weird thing because on one hand they'd be like, "Guys, they're shooting a porn in the back alley." It's like, no way. And then
I was like, what? No.
And then
Wait,
like that night, and then it'd be that night we'd be getting back from something, and they'd be like, "You guys can't park on this street. It's Katy Perry's birthday party."
Yeah.
like on the warehouse. And we're like,
Yeah.
"We live here." They're like, huh? Like, yes, we live here. And the guy's like,
It was the most nowhere place on planet Earth.
The guy's like,
Yet
hold
it was
on.
the nexus of all that. It was weird and amazing.
Well, I just remember so close to the freeway that there's like a black dust on every.
Oh,
everything.
we all lost 5 years of our life.
Yeah.
Des would literally clean his desk, and the next day he would just do this, and it's just a thin
Black.
black layer. And then I would just be sitting there like working, and then Des would just turn around. He's like, "Hey, so I'm reading like all these particles are right next to freeways. Like we're gonna die." And then like the next day, be like, "Hey, I read more about it. It's even worse than I thought." Like and he was just like for like a good week, you're just reading
a week,
about.
I sort of went down that rabbit hole, and I would just keep regaling Matt
'Cause
with
we
these awful statistics.
Because we were like very close to the freeway. I mean, the freeway essentially went over us.
It's a
So it was
block
just,
away.
It was just stuff
so
pouring
the
down.
two things that I remember specifically, there was in Unit 3 there was no air conditioning.
No.
I don't think there still isn't. And it was right next to the roof, so it got hot. And then 2, the bunk bed thing was where I slept with Jimmy.
Yeah.
like slept in the same bed.
Because
as
they got a
Jimmy.
bunk bed, but
broke.
Well, no, it didn't break. It was the way it was. It's
Oh,
like the top of it was hitting the ceiling, so you
hitting
couldn't
the-
be in the
yeah.
top bunk. So Freddie and Jimmy
Freddie
slept
and
on a
his brother.
twin-size bed for like 8 months to a year.
like
sucks.
like
It
What a
was-
shitty way to sleep with your brother.
It's like for
It's bad enough like in a queen at a Hilton.
And that room is like that room was like
100
4.
degrees.
That room was like 4 by 6. It was literally like
4 by 6,
It was like it was the
100
size
degrees.
for 2 bunk beds. Is how small that room was. Like it was
Man.
ridiculous.
It's hot. It's
those were the days.
Those were great.
It was straight up like being like in a dorm as like a 18-year-old. Like I'm pretty sure that was the only time I wore shower sandals after I was 18 was when I had to share the same shower as you guys in that.
You were shower I didn't.
I
given up
mean,
at that
yeah, it was
point.
pretty filthy.
It was
but,
pretty filthy. Is very kind.
But yeah, now 100 episodes, just 100 episodes later.
short hundo later. Look at us
You
now.
guys have a company and you're
man, I
shooting shorts.
really don't think about our living situation. Like it's just something where you just don't consider it until like now thinking.
You can never go
back
back
where
to that.
it's like now thinking back, you're just like, what were we thinking?
It was it's amazing. I remember like Freddie was you were living with me and you were doing the 9 to 5 and you're like, I think I'm gonna move in with these guys with no walls in this downtown. I was like, okay, all right,
Sure, all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
yeah. And then you you like slept on a mattress in the middle of the floor and made bear. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
For all those people who don't know out there, Freddie's first feature was a movie about a killer bear.
It's on Netflix.
Is it really?
It was, wasn't it?
It was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was on
Great.
Netflix.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I think it's still.
Freddie's like, "Where's my freaking
Where's my
movie check?"
money? Where's my licensing fee?
Yeah. And then you made bear, and then you like started making web videos.
Yeah, man.
And then Matt realized he was really fucking up that game, so he's like, I could do movies. And
Hey, that's how the
does-
movie industry works. You fail your way into it.
yeah, and then Des, you like slowly built your sweatshop.
Yeah.
Literally. It's
Real
called
quick, it was the
Sweatshop.
name of your company. He
Yeah,
didn't have
it
a
was
sweatshop.
Yeah.
Although there was a sweatshop on our street.
There was.
There was a guy. There's one warehouse at the very corner, which was occasionally just turned into a T-shirt manufacturing warehouse for like 4 days, and then all of a sudden it'd be empty. And you're like, what the hell was that? Like all of a sudden it's just like at night it's completely going. There's like 40 people there making T-shirts, and then like the next day just they're all gone.
Well, the name of we got the name for our production company from all the producers at Activision. They'd come down one day. They were like, "Who is editing all of this stuff so quickly for next to nothing?" And the producer's like, "You got to go see all these maniacs sleeping on the floor in downtown LA. It looks like a freaking sweatshop down there." And that's the
That was
living
the name of
situation
it?
we were in.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
like you had like your like friends from the industry that would come by like, man, this is a really cool place. I dig the vibe. Now that I think about it, they're like, we're getting these guys for cheap. This is great.
Yeah, like keep them here as long as we can.
It's a cool vibe equals we're getting you for cheap.
Yeah.
That's like the industry translation. So do you guys have metrics on this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What percentage of people who listen now listen then?
Oh, no idea about that.
I don't know.
Because you get iTunes numbers and stuff. You don't know who.
'Cause I wonder who actually like I bet there's like 2 people who like listen
hardcore
to
all
I
one
feel like the people
hundo.
listening now are pretty much the people that were listening from the
them.
beginning.
You think so? I mean,
There's
that's
definitely
what
up
the
there.
turnover
There's definitely no new people who show up to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All
ones.
holdovers.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to anyone if they listen to all 100 episodes.
In fact, let us know.
congrats.
In fact, let us know.
You're gonna have to
Tweet
make a
at us.
quiz. You
Tweet
have
at
to do,
us
like,
with
the,
hashtag.
hundo quiz.
Tweet us with hashtag FaceRock1hundo.
Really, I was thinking full hundo.
Full
Full hundo.
hundo.
Hashtag full hundo.
Full hundo. And winner for somebody gets a prize whoever abuses that hashtag the hardest.
Logan will record your outgoing voicemail.
Logan will cast your dick.
At first, I didn't even
Make a-
podcast
make a
your dick.
chocolate
Like, I'm
member.
like, well, here it is. Wow. I don't know if I can do a full hour on this thing. So, guys, what's your, it's been, let's just say it's 6 years. What's your biggest regret of the last 6 years?
This
biggest regret?
podcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
The biggest
oh, God, I don't know.
regret. That's very
What's your
morbid.
biggest
Like in
regret?
general.
In general, as you swig sparkling cider.
Nah, it's been pretty boss.
Maybe. I don't
What's
know.
your biggest regret, Logan? You start.
What do I regret?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Give me a second. But I'll
This
think
is a
about
heavy
it.
question. I'm trying to think.
This is really. Wait, you're talking about
Let's chew
anything
on that
and
one. Let's
everything?
chew on that
Let's
one.
chew, let's chew.
And come back at the end. And we'll conclude with our
That'll be the
regrets
uplifting
of the
thing we end
half
on.
decade.
Downer of an ending.
Yeah, right.
What do I regret the most?
I'll tell you, kids.
When you're 25. You know what? I do have I have a regret.
Yeah.
And this
Quitting
is-
the podcast.
This is for all the kids out there. Quitting the podcast. It's for all the kids out there. Is treat your body better.
That's what I was gonna say.
that
When you,
is-
honestly-
at a macro level, when you think about how much beer and pizza we consume just on this podcast alone,
I would- just
and
in general-
the crap we've ingested in the last 6 years.
I mean, none of us look great right now. We're all,
Like, I know.
That is my
this is
biggest
what work
regret.
does to you.
I kind of wish we took like a almost one of those before and after photos of this podcast so that we could like Santa Claus
That'd be
body
amazing.
warp ourselves.
Did you just recently watch Santa Claus again?
Oh, I watch it every year.
It holds up.
It's the
Oh, that
best.
movie's
I haven't
incredible.
watched it in a long time. I watched it.
That
like,
and
it's
Christmas
great.
Vacation.
Christmas
Oh, yeah.
Vacation
Christmas
ages like
Vacation
a
was-
fine
Santa Claus has
wine.
got to be the most successful perpetual pun-based movie title, like movie.
Actually, because of that, I usually spell Santa Claus with an E. I actually didn't realize you don't spell it with an E.
I didn't realize that either.
Wait,
The actual
what?
name Santa Claus is not an E.
Yeah, it's only for that movie.
That is,
It's a
I
pun.
swear.
Wait, what?
I swear.
I found this out last
Wow.
year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but it's a great like it's got the heart, but it also has the sass.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's in
It's
fine
still hip.
form.
He
It's
is
great.
in
Yeah,
fine
Tim Allen's
form.
great.
Oh, it's great. Oh
Yeah.
man. But anyways, yeah, treat your body better. Like,
Yeah.
I guarantee most 30-year-olds, like, if they have one regret, it's like just drinking and eating too much,
Yeah.
not exercising.
Yeah.
That's-
You drink so many energy drinks. They're all
Well, now, like, I
terrifying.
definitely find myself like rubbing my chest.
I'm like, what is this?
Oh,
What's happening?
And then people are like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "I don't heartburn." And then, so like, I like just grab like, I'm like, I had too much butter today, and so like, I literally like, I like butter my toast too heavy. I get heartburn. I'm like, oh, and I eat like 5 Tums. And,
Yeah.
like, better sit down for a while.
Yeah.
So
Your
you
body
have
just
that to
does
look
it.
forward to,
You just like
kids.
feel your body. You're like, what was that? It's like,
Oh yeah,
there's
weird
organs that-
bruises on your ribs where your
Yeah.
heart should be. But
on your ribs where your heart should be.
on your ribs, if you drew like a vector through the ribs, you'd hit your heart. But anyway, so that's my biggest regret.
Yeah, that would be mine.
It's up there.
What about your biggest regret for the year? What's been the highlight of 2015? Because this is also the end of the year podcast.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's like? How do you guys feel about 2015?
Highlight 2015.
This year was a pain.
This
Was
year
it releasing? Did you guys release Video Game High School this year?
No, that was
Wow.
last year. Wow.
You weren't here for me messing up the law's name.
What did you
What'd
call
you call him?
Maximum
can you mess up the-
order or like?
I don't know. It was so off. It was so
You
off.
remember the law?
No, man.
I remember. I think for Video Game High School, I remember when we saw the first season. I think what Logan said to me coming out of the first season was like, "That's not something I would have watched," but like it was okay. Was the response? And then I think every other season, like I never watched it.
Well,
Yeah.
the first season I was forced to watch insofar as I elected to go into a movie theater.
Yeah.
And I was stuck in that movie
Well, it's
theater.
your
So
fault.
like,
Yeah.
I definitely what is it called? Like the Meinhof conflict. What is it called when you like?
Meinhof? That's not it.
No, where you like end up like just liking
Stockholm
somebody.
syndrome?
Stockholm
Stockholm,
syndrome.
yeah.
Like I was like, oh okay. The second and third season, I was able to just
Not
stop
have
it.
to watch it.
not watch.
And
I was able to willingly stop it, and I did.
but I've been watching your Hulu show, and I was telling these guys before you guys got here. I like the Hulu show.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought Ashley's the Dracula
Yeah, Short's awesome.
That was fun. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And it had like
She did a great
the
job.
show actually had like a good arc. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It was
Oh, good. Thank you.
All right.
Logan,
so
I
good
can't
job,
believe
guys.
I'm hearing something
Wow.
positive from you right
I'm
now.
a positive guy.
I think it's the first
Merry
time I feel good
friggin'
about myself
Christmas.
in my entire career. Is Logan finally
This
thinks something we did is okay.
might be the greatest moment in the history of the
True.
Face Rocker
I guess this is probably the first time I've said something
It
positive
took 100
about one of your
podcasts,
guys'
but we
shows,
finally
but,
Took
got
100
positive-
podcasts, but Logan's on board, ladies
But
and
no,
gentlemen.
I enjoyed it.
That was based on the. And did you get a chance to see the amazing YouTube comments that we've
No,
been
I used
getting
my
on it?
PlayStation to watch it on Hulu. What do you want to talk about the comments a little bit?
We've talked about it a little before. We just.
What? Oh, on fan
It's,
fiction?
you know what? It's appropriate. It's been we're kind of going through a transition right now. RocketJump's kind of going through a little bit of a
There's
transition.
nothing to
Hence
talk
the end of
about.
this podcast.
Yeah.
We're transitioning.
I mean, it's just there's nothing to talk about other than this bunch of idiots in the comments
Yeah,
of fan
and if
fiction.
they, I love my favorite thing is when people tell you they unsubscribe, like you give
Yeah.
a shit,
Yeah.
or like
Oh, no.
that they took something away from you. And it's like, guys, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't know
So
what to
have you
say.
guys? Because you're like a like a legitimate company now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's the most legitimate company thing you guys have done?
We just
that is
had-
not
We literally today had a board meeting.
okay. That's pretty.
That
legit.
was
like-
Yeah,
that was
there
when
were
I
like
felt like an
lawyers
adult.
there and partners from other corporations, and we
we had,
like,
put on a
financials.
PowerPoint presentation.
We
How
explained
was
our
it? How'd it go?
finances.
How'd it go?
It was great. It
was great.
Yeah.
Did anybody slow clap like in that Stella episode?
When we're done, we're just like,
yeah.
great job.
You
But
got
like
it.
ask, talking like strategies and finances and like what we're
So,
doing.
what's the most like corporate culture thing you guys have done?
Oh,
Like with your employees?
I think
Less.
we've-
I guess less.
like the holiday
that way,
party,
more
like
this way.
the-
We had
the
a holiday
parties
party.
and
That was a
stuff.
freaking corporate holiday party.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like
you
now
were-
we will play this game. Yeah, it was very like
that was
regimented.
put on by Trisha, who was head of events at Disney.
Got it.
So,
okay.
yeah.
That
That's
would
where
make
that's
a lot of
coming from.
sense. She's still the head of events.
No, she was.
Okay.
She
Now
was
she's
our
the head of events at Rocket.
No,
Jump?
she's the head of merchandise at RocketJump.
and
She's
sure
my cousin.
event.
I'm
She
like
just ran the party
slowly
event.
Taking a swig.
God, this is so weird.
I saw that Matt was kind of getting distracted by it. Like, I was
like,
I was doing a
What are
fan
you
dance.
doing?
I was like, and he's like, I'm sorry, I lost my train.
Sorry,
of thought.
I couldn't even.
What's
I didn't realize you were taking off your shirt. I thought something was wrong. I thought you were just like rubbing your tongue.
No, I'm trying to get this damn hot knit sweater off, man.
Oh God.
Anyways, so for those of
actually
you
also-
listening, I'm naked now. The video is easily found on jump.com.
The big one was we had like CPR training. Oh no, we had a class where everyone had to come in and listen to their health insurance options.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Do you guys have like because we've done this before where it's like this is our user or this is our audience and
No,
like
we've
you guys
never
actually
done
give
that
them a
yet.
name and like find like a stock art photo. And
No,
you're like,
we don't
this
take
is
it that
Jimmy.
far.
He's 12 years old.
No,
and
we've never done. No.
if you guys had
We
to draw
tried
one
to avoid
now,
corporate
let's
stuff.
do it right now then. So who's
Our audience
The-
is composed of Jimmys, Susies, Abbies, and Michaels.
let's choose one though. If you had to choose one, like
Superfan Kevinator.
Superfan Kevinator.
that's who it is.
I mean, he's a super fan.
Who the
have
hell's
one.
that? What the fuck? What are you talking about? Oh, he's the Twitter dude, right?
Yeah, he's an actual guy.
Yeah. No, I think I've seen him. Yeah.
He's probably Twittered you.
No, he's tweeted me.
Yeah.
I got twatted.
Yeah.
Like Kevinator. I thought like I was kind of reading it as like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, like superfan Kevinator. I was like, what? But but if you had to can we like draw him out like a police sketch?
No.
Like with sweet manga abs and stuff. Sorry, I must have just watched fan fiction or something.
Benchy again, and guess what? Yeah, I know you already guessed it. I'm about to talk about Loot Crate again. Now, if you still don't know what Loot Crate is, it's a subscription box service. It's pretty much a stocking, a brand new stocking once a month that gets sent your way. They theme a box every month. Like one time they did a VGHS theme. It was fantastic. One time they did a Battlefield theme. This month's theme is Galaxy. What does that mean? That means you're gonna get Star Wars stuff. There's Halo stuff in there. There's some Funko Pops. There's nerd, geek, gamer, collectibles, chic, just anything and everything pop culture could possibly be in a Loot Crate. And they give you over $40 worth of goods for $20. It's fantastic. And right now they're gonna hook you up even more. If you go to lootcrate.com/facerocker, use the promo code FaceRocker, you'll get $3 off your subscription. Now, just to remind you, you have to sign up by the 19th of each month at 9 p.m. to get that month's themed box. After that, they don't sell it anymore. It's gone. You'll never get that stuff again. So make sure you get on that. Check that out. You got a day. Go to lootcrate.com/facerocker, use the promo code FaceRocker, and get some sweet stuff. Other than that, come back and hang out. We got the rest of the final episode, and thank you guys for sticking with us this long. We can't appreciate you enough.
Oh man.
But anywho, did you guys get back to your 2015 regret yet? Did you find it out?
I agree.
So actually, here's my biggest regret for 2015 is we had a show idea, and I called it the Golf Cast.
Oh yeah.
And the idea of it would be a podcast, but everyone would have to wear helmets with GoPros attached to the little arms in front of them, pointing right back at you. So it'd just be like your face in a golf course. And then you'd get 3 of your friends together, 4 of your friends together, get 4-some or 3-some, and just play around the golf while podcasting.
All
And
right.
so it would be in
Joey and Freddie did
between talking, you cut to like the putt and the long putt.
It's a
Ooh,
podcast
will he
on the
make-
golf course.
And I was like,
It's like just an excuse to play some golf.
That's
what
which is what it was.
Exactly what it was.
But I still think that there's legs on it. I still think you can make it work. But we did a test of it, and it was just like, no, this doesn't work. But I think there's a way to make it work.
I mean, Freddie was so certain. Freddie came in.
I was like, guys, we're
Freddie
gonna
came
get.
to like a production meeting on Monday. And he's like, Des gonna remember. And I was just like, I'm happy to play golf. So Freddie was like,
I called.
guys,
I was like, this is
guys,
gonna fall
our
on his
revenue
face.
problems are fixed. We know what to do. This is gonna be the core of rock.
You like had a helmet rig.
I was like, we're gonna take this helmet rig. We're gonna get sponsorships.
We
Callaway.
went to a
Ping.
golf course and all wore bike helmets with GoPros in front of ourselves and just played golf, and everybody on the course was like, "Who are these idiots?" And then people would come like, "Hey, you recording something?" Like, yeah, just doing a swing, like, watching my swing.
While I was looking at your face.
Yeah, they don't understand what.
No, but that's
idea.
what the best part about that was because golf is a sport where there's so much importance around like swing analysis. Where it's like
Yeah,
if you're just
nobody
like
would question
if you're
that.
just like just trying to improve my swing, you could do anything.
Yeah, you can do
under the
anything.
guise.
Yeah.
What didn't work about it?
It's
Boring.
that it's just it wasn't that it was boring. It was that we had to stay together because there'd be times when someone would split off and then have a conversation, but then no one else would hear it. So then you have 2 conversations happening at the same time.
That sounds interesting to me. That's
I know, it's funny
the
because, like,
post-growing
I know-
aspect, like following the one
and you
guy.
needed,
who
and then
gets
really
left alone.
specifically, you needed a camera. You needed
long
a
lens to
camera with
follow the ball.
a zoom, so that when someone teed off, you could actually follow where the ball was. If it's too wide, you just
Like
can't
if
see.
like if it was a golf cast and it was like a golf cast with like Bill Murray, like if your 4th person could always be like a famous person, bet you would do pretty well.
Because that strategy works great for the podcast, right?
Well, I'm just saying that's what comedians in cars getting coffee is.
This would be from the origin, from the beginning. This intention, and it wouldn't be us. I mean, that's the thing. Is the problem is like we're not good interviewers.
You have to be a bunch of professional golf players / interviewers.
Well, you have to be
Matt
like, and also the
Lauer.
problem is you have to be like okay at golf, and we were not okay at golf. And Matt's okay
pretty
at
bad.
golf, but everyone else is pretty bad.
You know, apart from the acoustic issues, bowling would probably be more conducive.
So Chris Hardwick did do that. They did like a bowling.
Yeah.
I think they have they've
I was
like
on that
revamped
show.
that bowling show.
I was on that
for
show.
network TV.
So what? How did that go?
What they don't tell you before you go on is that Chris Hardwick is like a fucking
He's
championship
a pro
bowler.
Well, everybody knows
Like father was a
He's-
pro.
Yeah, and he was like grew up in like the part of like Illinois where only people bowled. So he would do stuff where he'd be like, all right, I'm up.
Only we're only people bowl as
only
opposed
people
to
bowling.
animals.
Yeah. But he would do stuff like and I'm not kidding. He would do stuff where he'd be like, oh, I'm up. He'd like the ball return, so he'd pick it up. So he'd be a good 20 feet behind where he's supposed to go and just launch it and get a strike. He's like, oh, come on.
But that doesn't make the show better, right?
I mean, no, I'm just saying you just get schooled by Chris Hardwick. The show is secretly him being like, guess what? I'm way better at bowling than all of you.
that's his like killer feature.
That was like the killer. That was the big unique selling proposition of it.
So bringing it back to the final podcast, if you guys had to impart one, because do you guys have outside of Twitter, obviously, do you guys have any other like direct, out of character or vaguely out of character like mouthpieces directly to people? Like, is there going to be any like
Snapchat and like
Snapchat? So basically, social
Yeah,
media
social
platforms.
media.
And there's gonna be some stuff we're doing next year we're kind of getting rid of the second channel more or less and there'll be some stuff that we're doing next year that will be like talk directly
Just
to
you
audience
talking
and stuff.
directly to the camera.
Yeah, it's talk directly to camera.
Whispering.
Yeah.
That's
You had
actually
to
the
give
name of the show.
essentially
The
just
name of the
whispers.
show is called Whispers into Camera.
That's beautiful.
It'll be Freddie's sensual update. It'll just give you what's going down.
It's
The
just
lowdown
like
RocketJump.
candles
Really.
flickering.
Freddie
It'll be
in a
you in a
tub.
bath, in a tub with a bath
Periscope.
bomb. Ooh, it should be you in a tub, and you explain what bath bomb you're using first.
We were actually saying a good
Update.
podcast would be the Bath Cast. It would be
Yeah.
completely unusable audio wise, but everybody Skypes in from their bathroom and they all chime in on what bath bombs they're using, and then it's just like through Skype, everyone you get the audio from it, and just half the audio is just the sound of water being filled in. So it's just like
Wait, why would you? Wait, you start the bathcast
With an empty tub.
With an empty tub.
Yeah, with an empty
And
tub.
You sit in. You sit in a tub when it's empty.
No.
And then slowly, like you get to enjoy not
Yes,
it
you
not
so
being
does.
a
You
bath.
busted it.
Yeah, it's like all right, I'm in an empty tub, and woo, it's halfway full now. I'm almost taking a bath.
Hey, Matt, how's your bath going along?
Do you bath that much, Freddie?
I bath every day.
Freddie
shit.
bathes so much
Yeah.
and uses bath bombs so often. He'll often have glitter in his
Yeah.
eyebrows.
Will you really?
Yeah.
Wait, why do you? So it can't possibly be as efficient as showering.
It's not.
It's not
So,
about efficiency.
but you like, you're like, this is my little treat for the day.
This is my treat for my life every day.
At
No, it's not
morning or
fun,
night?
man.
Are you a night bather?
Nighttime.
Nighttime bather.
I can't. I never understood morning shower
I
people.
don't like to sleep in my own.
time?
I don't
dirt.
like to sleep in my own filth.
Seriously,
Yeah.
clean up. You know,
Like clean up before you get into them nice crisp sheets. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I love some clean, crisp, fresh sheets.
sheets.
Did I ever tell you guys about? Like, I might have only pitched it to Des, the podcast I wanted to do, just called Brothers, and it was Des, Benji, me, and Blade.
No plan.
Just
other
talk.
than that.
Well, no, we just talk about being brothers all the time.
That's it.
That's an episode.
Bros,
Well, actually,
an
we should come up.
episode.
We should come up with some
Maybe.
alternate podcast ideas here, just in case any of these hit and people. Have a,
Come on, spitball a little. What the next
Brothers?
100 episodes? It was brothers. So it'd be like, man, what's it like when you get dinner with your bro? And then we talk about getting dinner.
dude, it's so crazy. It's like you guys will order the same thing.
Oh man,
That sounds great.
I think it really
Should
depends
have
on.
called sisters.
Have you
and
heard-
it's still the four of you, and you talk about what it would have been like if you had sisters.
Have you?
Oh, I thought you were saying if we were sisters.
Yeah, if you were sisters.
What would be the dynamic? How would it
Have you heard-
change?
Like, so if we were both girls, like, you know, and we were sisters, what would be different?
That's not weird at all.
Have you heard Tim Heidecker's podcast?
No, what's the?
It's
wait.
on movies, and it's like
Yes, him and what's it? Greg Turkington.
yeah, and it's like
Oh,
a
yeah,
3-minute long podcast where they review a movie, but it's just like a nothing podcast. It's hilarious.
It's out of 5 popcorns usually. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's so
the
weird.
movie reviews. Yeah, no, that is pretty fantastic.
We could do 30-second game reviews with you because it'll start with you taking a deep whiff of a video game box.
Because people still use boxes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true, but no,
Yeah.
that's your holdover. That's your holdover. That's what your thing is that you gotta smell that new.
I
game
used to
smell.
love smelling the cases.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to that?
I get everything on Steam now. there are no
buy
cases. Had to replace that with delicious cooking. Hey guys, if you had one recipe that you'd recommend I make, do you have like a recipe you think I should try out?
Where is this coming from?
Well, that's like
I mean, for what occasion? Are you making dinner tonight?
like
Do
a
you not
meat, like a dinner food. What would you recommend I make? Like, what do you have a recipe that like is your standby, Matt? Like when you need to treat your lady right with a delicious dinner,
I could that thing that you taught me to cook.
spaghetti and ketchup.
Which
To the chicken.
the chicken bake?
I do the chicken bake, and then we do a Mongolian beef. That's good.
Oh, that
What's
sounds good.
what's the chicken bake?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's
either.
really
You
just-
taught him, but you don't
It's
remember.
really
Me and I
it's
should make this-
honestly
yeah.
a bottle of like Lee and Perrin's marinade,
Yeah.
like white wine, lemon vinaigrette.
Essentially, the
marinade
chicken's
off
like
the shelf.
in water.
And
You're
you-
almost broiling it.
Yeah, you marinate it and then broil it in this marinade with a little Parmesan on top and oregano. Really simple,
good.
but it's really good. Yeah.
But we do this like ginger Mongolian beef that when we go to like Palm Springs with Ashley's family, they always make us make
Yeah.
it because
Like in a wok? Do you like in a wok?
Yeah, with ginger and
You take
like,
like scotch
green
tape
onions
and pull your eyes back and
the
Racist.
thing. Freddie, did you ever do this meal with us? The tenderloin.
yeah, I did. Do
Yeah,
that.
there's this Alton Brown recipe that I do probably like once a year. That's you buy a whole tenderloin and then you cut the flaming onion yourself, and it's a pepper, like cracked pepper, and then cognac and like cream. It's like
cognac reduction.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Black
good.
pepper.
That one's
that
good.
sounds
Alright.
good.
Yeah, that's a meal.
What about you, Freddie? What's your recipe? Recipe if you're gonna
What's
really
your
impress somebody?
cooking? What's your like cooking prowess at?
I'm pretty damn good now.
Oh, okay, all right.
I might say so myself.
I can
I
crush
do like-
breakfast.
I do like fried rice.
You should do a salad cast. That
Salad cast.
Yeah, if you
Me and Brian were really
Yeah.
into salads for a while. We were really. You know, I got a new salad secret for you.
Let's hear it.
Go ahead.
Like minced garlic. Drop some minced garlic in that.
Just
And that's
That's a
salad.
raw minced
I don't think
garlic in
anybody's
the
ever
salad.
thought that before. That's
Absolutely.
a pretty big secret.
Do you- Well, no, like, cause you know, like, if you're like, I just need to make a salad. You know, you throw in some greens and some
Yeah.
tomatoes, maybe some croutons, some oil, some vinegar.
Yeah.
But nobody thinks to put in some crushed garlic in there, and that really kicks it up a notch.
If you do a lot of salads,
That,
do you get like
salt,
legit
pepper.
balsamic?
Huh?
Do you use balsamic in?
And red wine. I jump between the two.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you get like the good balsamic now?
Making
that
your
you-
own
heck
vinaigrette is
straight
key,
from
too.
Verona or whatever the heck.
Yeah. Okay.
Balsamic's from. Yeah, no, I just tried to. I'm getting to what's that dude's name? Jacques Pepin, like the famous.
Yeah,
the
the
famous chef.
techniques. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he.
Wait,
he has-
have you read his book?
which one?
I forget.
My Life on the Edge.
No, Jacques Pepin. It's the cookbook for like technique, like knife technique and everything.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. No,
It's like hardcore. It's just like how to use a kitchen knife.
Wait, so your go-to is fried rice?
No, like I'll do fried rice. I can't cook. I'm not good. I'm not good cooking. I do have a good mashed potatoes recipe though.
Oh yeah, you put a little milk in those mash?
No,
Just straight up.
Philadelphia 1/3 fat cream cheese.
Oh my goodness, are you
No
okay
butter,
revealing your
just
secret?
potatoes
Are you
and cream
okay
cheese?
revealing your secret recipe?
You do butter as well, but like the kicker is you throw in like a half,
Yeah.
like a half stick of cream cheese.
You know, I think my mom does
really-
that actually.
It gets
I think my mom
real
does the
good,
cream.
real
Yeah.
creamy.
Yeah.
You guys have a special Christmas meal you're gonna do this year? Like, do you guys have like a Christmas?
I'm not gonna
feast?
be in the country for Christmas.
Oh, where are you going?
Going overseas. My family's like, yo, you're turning 30 this year. Let's do a little like family vacation. So
Well, not this year. Next year, right?
No, this year. I'm 30 right now.
What?
Yeah,
Happy birthday, dude.
that was months ago.
September 13th or 15th?
13th.
13th. I remember because Freddie, David Welch, and Blade all have birthdays on the 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Yeah, it's
so I always have
crazy.
to remember which order they're in.
Yeah.
That's cool. What are you gonna do while you're over there?
Not anything. It's just chillax.
That
and
sounds great.
No
yeah.
ecotourism, no ziplining. Perhaps a glider.
Perhaps a little bit of a glider. Oh, Logan, I was in St. Petersburg, Florida for a speaking thing, and I did those water jetpacks.
Yeah.
I rode one.
Oh, did you do the water hoverboard or just the normal one?
No, like the jetpack where you
How was
Iron
it?
Man
Did
out.
you master it?
I didn't. I thought I mastered it. I thought I was like hot shit.
And then
And then the guy who was like, let me take it for a spin.
did you do a backflip?
He did like all this stuff that I was like, oh, wow.
You kind of want to get one now? Yeah. Do you think you
Well,
could develop
apparently,
an
well, no,
indoor version?
apparently, it's just super easy to get now because I guess the company that makes them just like stopped because nobody really was buying them. So
Maybe
yeah,
that's
you
gonna
get to
be.
sell it easy.
I bet that's gonna be the
pretty
next
niche.
hoverboard.
It's super niche.
Did I tell you guys I got Blade a hoverboard for Christmas?
Did you really?
Wait,
I
like an
did.
Iohawk, like the
Yeah.
God.
I
Do you
just
like
read
them?
that they're mostly defective and they're all spraying
Oh,
flames out the back.
It's amazing. Like our mom was losing it. Like, just so you know, you're responsible for your brother's death. Because I guess they are bursting the flames because
Yeah.
the LiPo batteries are shoddy.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like if you don't charge it, it's probably not going to burst. Like it's not going to just sit there and burst into flames. It's like if you're charging it. Like I don't know if you ever
LiPo's-
used.
Only if you're charging the electrical equipment.
The
But, hey, if you're
rechargeable
awake,
hoverboard.
if you're awake and you see something burst in flames, you're gonna be okay. The dangerous part is you plug it in and go to sleep in another room.
Yeah,
That's
now
when it
you're
goes
done.
sour. Then you're
I don't
done.
think it's lipos in there. I thought it
Yeah.
was lithium ion.
Oh, maybe. All I know
To
is
be clear, no appliance or anything you ever buy should have the danger of lighting your house on fire if you're asleep.
Well, lipo batteries are notoriously volatile. Even because it's what multicopter and stuff do. They all recommend that you charge them inside like fireproof cases,
which is exactly what we do. Like when we use lipos, we always put them in a fireproof case. So it
And
totally
I remember,
makes sense.
and by the way,
so
I will real quick, just a quick story. I remember being like, I bet you this is overstated, whatever. Like
you had one burst in flames.
And so we were charging stuff, and I'm not to embarrass him, but we were working on John Salmon had a lipo, and it was plugged into the charger, and it went to the two banana plugs into the charger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh yeah, just pull that battery out, and he pulled the banana plugs out, so the two contacts were exposed, and they just briefly contacted, and it was just like
spark.
I was like, whoa! And the place smelled like chemical death.
Yeah, I was pretty sure. Like, are we all going to pass out like an hour from now? Like, it's pretty horrible.
So I think there's like an auxiliary business that we need to hop on, which is fireproof bags for hoverboards. Like
There you go.
hoverboard sized fireproof
Like
bags.
you just roll into it, like it's a platform that you just kind of roll
and then you
onto.
zip up. But no, I think the far more threatening is like at first we were all freaking out because have you guys ridden a hoverboard?
I have, yeah.
No.
They're super unstable.
Sure.
Like they don't even wait for the second foot. You put one foot on and it actually zips away from you. You're like Jesus. So you have to like hop on it and then you kind of like just wobble back and
I've
like
seen nothing but people falling.
and so like literally it was me holding Blade like strong arm while he was like with all like the wrist guards on and the elbow pads and bicycle helmet. He's like, this feels really stressful. 2 hours later, he's like, Logan, I really opened it up on the. He's going like 30 miles per hour.
Yeah, once you get
without a helmet, I'm like, Jesus.
once
Blade,
you
like, you're
once
gonna
you
brain
figure
yourself.
out your ankle thing, like you
Yeah.
can just go.
Yeah, I just think like way more dangerous than the bursting flames is eating it into a curb.
Well, what's funny too
Do
is
you
like
just,
that.
jump though?
No, they're that's
They're
it.
heavy.
They're
No,
heavy.
I
as
mean you
shit.
can jump off of it. Like
Kind
easily.
of, but like I'd be more worried about.
You're not strapped on or
Evil
anything.
Knievel.
No.
You just
But like it could
dive, tuck, and roll.
It could
No,
come
that's
out
what
from
bikes
under
do.
you though.
Yeah.
It could definitely come out from under you.
Well, it's like it's one of those things where if it just stopped, you'd be going 30 miles an hour with your feet.
Wait,
a few
they
inches
don't
off the
go
ground.
30.
They go fast.
Yeah.
They go fast like
If I go like
bicycle fast.
15.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
And
fine.
fast.
Still, 15.
And
is
also,
fast.
there's no. It's not like you lean into your turns like a bicycle or motorcycle.
Yeah, it's this
So,
motion.
but you can take a hard turn, right? So you can go 50 miles per hour and then turn on a dime and just launch off of it, which people have done at work now.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Do
yeah.
people have them at work?
No, Blade brought it in. He's like, hey, let's check it out. So people are like zipping around, like literally corners of desks all around. I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh, it's going to take us someone to whip it and like explode their eyeball out. And someone's like yoking down their face. Like, I'm good. Is the hoverboard okay? That's what really matters. I'm okay. So, anyways, yeah, that was my Christmas present for Blade. I was like, and
I'm surprised that
on,
the IOHawk or the 2-foot hoverboard thing was the thing that made it. Especially since like I saw there was a. Do you remember that video of the one wheel like skateboard?
Yeah,
the
that
gyro
is way
board. Yeah,
cooler.
I think
like,
I think it's too much effort. Like.
Yeah.
The hoverboard is all about zero effort. Did you guys see the hoverboard shoplifting?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Where the
What?
dude's like in sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and like when you see people who are actually good at hoverboard, it looks like they're just standing there and like kind of like tired of life, and you just like hoverboards in at full speed into the 7-Eleven or whatever it was, grabs like a case of beer and then just hoverboards away.
No way.
Laziest crime.
I have to see that.
Laziest
Dude,
crime.
so do you realize how many ghosts in haunted houses are going to use that technology next year to
Ooh.
like power their ghosts?
And yeah, that's a good point. And there'll be a lot of broken nose because of it. Just zipping into walls. But yeah, no, our mom's losing it now. She's like texting us articles about the hoverboards bursting into flames, like letting me know that like my brother's blood is
Already
on my
on your
hands.
hands. Already on your
Yeah,
hands.
and then I was gonna have him open it in Arizona where we're flying for Christmas, but but I guess they're being banned from airlines now.
Well, yeah, because
too.
the battery.
Yeah, because they might,
batteries
they
is
might
Although to
explode.
be fair, you can bring batteries on an airplane. You just have to
be
put
fair.
it in a case.
No, I feel like it's becoming like a super alarmist thing now. The hoverboard thing, like they're like confiscating them at ports now and like, catching them on fire like they're banned books.
That's
Like they just
amazing.
explode.
First they came for the hoverboard. Dude,
What's
can you
next?
imagine?
Oh man, are you guys gonna register your quadcopters?
We
Yeah,
have
it's
to.
a pilot-based registration.
Yeah.
It's what?
Pilot-based.
What does that mean?
It's
We have
not
to
per
register
it's
ourselves
not
as pilots.
per quadcopter. You just register
So you guys have to
yourself.
register as pilots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll register my quadcopter.
I'm pretty excited.
I'll be damned if the government's gonna tell me what to register.
Well, there's a
Come
little
and
bit of
take my quadcopter.
I'm sure they're gonna come and take my quadcopter. Like,
First
oh,
they came
dead pants. As
You
I
ain't
hold
gonna
up
put
over
me
my-
on your goddamn government list.
There's gonna be a new amendment for our rights to have quadcopters in the 300 years from now when people are using drones to murder people. It would be like back then. Be like, well, back then there weren't quads with machine guns on them, so we didn't know what we were getting
Did you guys see
into.
the Japanese quadcopters with the nets?
Except that was like such a. I was like, that was such a BS video.
Well, I didn't see the video.
It was just a video. Where it's just like we can catch quadcopters now, and it's just like it was a demonstration. It's just like someone flew up a DJI Phantom, and then the Japanese one like slowly went up and caught it. It was just like,
Yeah,
is
if
the
you
guy
stood
just not gonna like move it? Like, is that how it's gonna work here?
Well, it's gonna turn into Top Gun, but it is a huge issue because
Yeah.
like,
That's a video series. It's Top Gun for the world's best quadcopter pilots.
Well, those guys do exist, right? The first-person quad. The F-
Oh, yeah.
Freddie watches that.
I watch
all the
that
time.
shit all the time.
Yeah,
They're
have you
incredible.
tried it?
I have.
You built one.
I built a whole rig. I have a full 250
How good
class.
are you?
I'm awful.
Okay.
And I've had no time to practice. I just got a converter for my RC controller to plug into my computer so I can like play the simulators.
Oh, because they have like physics-based. Like,
Yeah,
super
because there's
simulators.
two things. It's like there's two modes. There's regular mode, which will be like when you let go of the
Self-center, like
thing, it'll
self-center.
self-center.
Yeah.
But then everyone's like, no, the real way to fly is acro mode, where it doesn't do that. So it's just like I
Do you ever
don't.
find yourself like wanting to lay on your belly to more simulate being in a quadcopter?
No. Although I will say, every time I've taken it out into a park, like I've gotten so many looks from people.
Being like, damn, that guy's cool.
Yeah, they're just like,
Like those sort of like, do you wear like sweet wraparound polarized
yeah,
shades
it's just
when you
actually
fly
just
it?
a single piece of glass.
What's your first person viewer of choice? Like an Epson or something else?
an Epson?
Like what sort of displays are you using?
I'm using it's just a 5.8 gigahertz like monitor, and I'm just
Oh, so you don't actually put it on your head.
I don't have because I have glasses. Like I did. There's a
Do people do that? They have like.
Yeah, that's what the real.
yeah. The real guys will use the full on like
So it feels like
goggles,
they're in it.
so it feels like they're
They're
in
in
it.
it.
The only problem is with glasses is kind of a pain, and I did find one that actually fit. I'm like, let me just get better at
But
flying this thing
can't
first.
you like change the optics so that you don't need your prescription when you look?
No,
at
not
these things?
not with how bad my vision is.
Oh.
It's really cool. So
Bad
really cool.
my vision.
And what's really cool about the whole thing, no, because this is my dream. My dream is to get good enough, not to win the event, but at least to
hustle, right?
To hear about and attend an underground parking lot event.
You mean like sort of like a Fast and the Furious? Sort
They
of
do
like,
that. They do that.
Like
they
illegal drone racing?
Dude, there's illegal drone
Do you think
racing.
they're gonna register their drones? I don't think
Hell
so.
no, that's just race for pinks. No, what happens is like they'll go to an underground garage, they'll take like an LED strip and like splay it across, and that'll be like the finish line, and they do the course, and the people like will run
They
it.
put like EDM hula hoops around that you gotta fly through. Like
There's
this is
actually
a
these
start block.
hoops there's these hoops that they'll go through, but like in a parking garage, everything's so low it doesn't matter. That's only for like parks and stuff. But yeah, and I'm not gonna win it, but I just want to be able to like be like, all right, I'm ready to go, and like put on my setup and just like, and well, you were telling me about the headphones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like they'll all wear headphones, just blasting sick EDM beats.
Or rock music, loud music, so they don't have conflicting information coming through their ears, because they want to be in first person view, right? So when something flies by them, because inevitably it'll fly past them, like that left to right will actually throw off their steering, so they blast music to cut that out.
That's hardcore.
Yeah. So
I have the whole setup.
Freddie, I think you could do it, man. I think you could become a
I'd love
professional
to,
FPV
Freddie.
racer.
Dude, I would love to be like, yo, by day he runs this video production company in Burbank.
He has a 9 to 5 where he makes videos,
But by
but his
night.
real passion is flying drones in the
Flying
underground racing
drones.
circuit.
Dude, you can do the thing. If it
What
was
would be
a-
your costume? Like, what would be your anime
my
persona?
gosh. It has to be like a jumpsuit with like neon, like Tron style, like neon. Oh, you just walk in with the Daft Punk helmet. You're
See,
just in it
I
the
was
whole
thinking
time.
you with a bleached bouffant, and you're always working it with your comb, your little comb, the sweet. Like,
If you did a
bouffant.
Top
You
Gun
should have
movie
your
about-
knees and your elbows to have fans, so like you could do this.
Just hover in.
you lay on your back like a baby and zip around, ass first, just zipping around.
That is amazing.
You're just looking through your taint to see where you're going.
You look like a quad guy.
That'd be incredible. No, and I think if you did the Top Gun movie about quadcopters, like the goose scene, it would have to be like someone gets cut up really bad.
I thought the next Top Gun is about drones,
It kind of is, yeah.
right? It's
No, but not like underground drone racing.
Not these sort of
okay,
drones.
not about racing drones. It's about like raptors or whatever
Yeah,
they're
drones
called.
that kill people.
Oh yeah, those are a little more sad and dour.
Yeah, come on, Logan.
Well, how much more time do we have?
You're at an hour right now. So you
Okay.
Wow, that's it.
I was gonna ask. So if you guys had to give advice to yourselves when we started, if you had one
podcast.
if you could,
podcast.
if you could just grab a rift in space and time and peel it open, and shout at yourselves right when we started,
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
what would your if you had to
Podcast is going nowhere.
just
Spend your
don't
hours
waste your
doing something
time.
else.
Do
Live your
something.
life, son. Live your damn life.
This is easy. I would scream at myself. Spend all your money on Tesla stock.
not bitcoins.
Oh, Bitcoin's probably better. You're right.
Really? Would
No,
Bitcoin
Bitcoin's be
better?
harder to. It'd be harder
It's hard
to
to.
flip though.
Nobody's been able to actually get money from it.
I have.
No. Like people have got money.
Like people. Aren't there the entire block list of people who have like $10 million in Bitcoin and they? Like,
Well, because they
literally
lose
can't get-
their hard drives. They throw out their
No,
hard
no,
drives.
like,
and
they
go down
literally
to
can't
Bitcoin.
get-
But there's
Anybody
also
to
it's also
buy.
really it's also difficult to convert it back to.
Really?
I think it's better than it used to be for sure. But it's also there was a very long time, especially even at the very height of it, where there was like people were just being like, okay, how do I do this now? And it's just like, I have these Bitcoins, but nobody wants to take them. I can't get them converted, and it's like the process
Coinbase,
for-
man.
Well, but Coinbase wasn't
Coinbase.
around until
That's a very
Coinbase
good
wasn't
point.
around or trusted until relatively
Okay,
the whole
fair
history
enough.
of it.
Well,
Relatively
now
recently.
you can chat yourself. Bitcoin will be trusted in 7 years or so.
Bitcoin wouldn't
Kind
be
of
bad.
still.
Kind of almost.
kind of almost.
You
With
want to
their
buy
little
really
voice, I'll
specific
shout at
things.
myself. What about you, Des?
What would I tell myself? Man, I don't know. Let's presume we're not doing the time copy thing where we could cheat the stock market or something like
Yeah,
that. If
yeah.
there was
Let's
some sort
ignore
of
stock market
moral life lesson.
stuff. Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one. I don't know. I try not to live with regrets, you know?
Damn, so deep.
Yeah.
Is that what you say? Don't live with regrets.
I guess.
You could be like, yeah.
you know what?
With
Honestly,
regrets. And
it-
he's
it-
like, done. And then you're like, done.
It comes back to the it honestly comes back to the taking care of yourself thing. That's really the
Yeah.
only thing. It's like every day, it's like I'm a young guy. I'll eat what I want. I'll work out next week. It's like 6 years later. 6 years and 80 pounds later. I'm
Every
like, oh,
young
God.
person, Kevin Ader and all, are listening to this, just being like, Jesus. Oh my God. All these worn out fat dudes.
Yep. That's what this is.
Well, I was saying, like, I might have told you guys, like, I've been noticing, like, everybody around me who's like, so, like, there's definitely like a group of folks that like I keep walking past who are a little younger than me, so they had just gotten out of college, and I've been seeing them over the last 3 or 4 years, and you can see them just kind of swelling up, and then gravity pulling them down. It's just like this outward, downward growth that we all experience. What about you, Matt? Same thing. Take care of
Same
yourself.
thing, 100%.
Not like marry that woman.
No, it's
Because
my
you
life's
did
been
it.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. It's
All
good.
right. Any other parting words? What a sad
How about
note
you?
to go
Oh,
out on.
I'll tell you
Hey,
what.
how about you,
I'll tell you.
Logan?
Wait, real quick. This one. I got one more.
No,
I got
he's
one
got
more.
to say what he would
No, I got
tell
one
He's
more.
got one more. Like you. What about you, motherfucker? What's your thing you
Freddie,
say?
your portal's already closed. Your portal's already closed.
I have one more thing
You're
to yell.
Yeah, Freddie's like, no, Freddie, no.
These are here's the two things I was.
I said something about fucking Bitcoin. I take it all back.
I'll do two. I would say this. I would scream Bitcoins and selfie sticks.
Really? That was what you really want to jump in with?
I would have.
Selfie
If
sticks?
do you realize? First of all, do you realize where this company would be if I invented the selfie stick?
It wouldn't exist because you'd be busy with your selfie stick.
We would have millions.
I don't think there's any
Nay,
one person.
billions.
I don't think any one person
Did
benefits
you
from
wait?
the
Did you
selfie
did you
stick.
know that I take full credit for inventing the selfie stick?
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
How,
Except for the guy who actually invented the selfie
and
stick.
sold it.
If you had
and
invented
marketed it.
Facebook, you
So
would
how
have
did
invented
you?
Facebook.
How did you invent the selfie stick?
It was like the second VidCon, and then it was a guy and I was sitting there just looking at everybody using the phones, starting to use phones and stuff, and I was,
Starting to use.
like use phones for
What
like
year was
cameras,
this?
use cameras and stuff.
2086. Yeah,
It was 2011. Like 2011. You
Yeah,
started
we
using
all
phones
had
for like.
smartphones.
No, I'm saying like for selfies and video specifically. I remember seeing a person like doing that. I remember talking to a guy and being like, it was just in a conversation. And I was like, man, it should be like, it's weird that you're only to here, like, because the lenses aren't that wide. Like, there should be like a thing, like a rod or a pole that
Like
you can attach your
some
phone
kind
to,
of selfie stick.
that you could then get a longer reach for. And
Yeah,
he was like,
yeah.
he was like, huh. That's really interesting. That's a good idea.
And
then
he,
the-
like,
and then he
ran
invented
Shenzhen.
Facebook.
And then the next year, and this is the first time I saw it. So again, the first time I saw it, and it doesn't mean anything. But the next year, he came to me. He's like, "You remember when you talked about that selfie thing? Look at this!" And he handed me a prototype that he had built that was a selfie stick. I was like,
Was
"That's
this
really
like
clever."
a 2x4?
It was like it wasn't like a telescoping crazy. It was, yeah,
He spent all year.
He's
I
like,
made it. I
Unless
did
you
it.
tried to nail, that didn't work.
Just hot glued a phone to a broom. I call it phone broom. I think it has a lot of legs. So close.
And I was like, "That's a good idea. Cool." And then I think everyone saw it and copied it.
Do you guys see the selfie stick that's actually just a really long arm?
Yeah, yes. It's
You like wear on your sleeve, so it
Yes.
just looks like you have this gross banana arm. This gross like 15-foot
Like,
banana
the
arm.
fingers move,
Yeah,
actually press the
I hope
button.
so.
That'd be why they use it. It's like,
It just wait, Logan. What's your thing?
If I traveled back in time and gave advice
no, if
to
you could
myself,
scream into the portal.
You scream into your
to
portal
yourself.
quickly.
and we're
yourself.
not doing stock quotes because honestly saying Bitcoin and Tesla stock, spend all the money. I wouldn't say selfie sticks. I'd probably say like start meditating and like you're gonna meet a really cute girl sometime. Like that's about
everything's
it.
gonna be fine, bro. Just
Everything's
chill.
gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then
Think
you
about
kill
your
your
heart. Eat oatmeal.
I like how,
Eat oatmeal.
Your cholesterol is suffering.
did you guys notice how we're all just being very selfish about our portal usage?
Oh, I know. There could be so many things. There could be.
We could have saved so many people.
How?
But in that,
No, you can't do that because then
you
like,
can't do that.
No, because that's just. I mean, like you're gonna save one disaster. and then
Which disaster are you helping? We don't have.
I don't
like,
know.
Well,
I
I've
don't
always,
know.
wait. Have we
Pick
done? Have
one.
we done the thought
Pick
experiment
one.
with you? Have we done the thought experiment with you? The Wikipedia one.
5-star?
No. Where if you're, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, can we talk about
Freddie,
5-star?
easy,
Does anybody actually use 5-star?
I do.
I have
They
a
get
lot of
sweet
5-star
deals
points.
at
I don't know how
coffee
to
shops.
I don't know how to use those points ever.
You just you spend them with your cell phone like at different coffee shops.
Okay.
Okay,
Brought to you
so
by 5-star.
so imagine that you're 20 years in the future. Oh no, put it the easier way.
The
You have a
year's
laptop.
2050.
You have a laptop. It's the year.
We have laptops in the year 2050.
Yeah, it's the year 2050.
Just go with it.
Your laptop can access Wikipedia in that year.
my laptop today.
Yeah, whatever.
Then I don't have a laptop.
No, sure. You can access the text version of Wikipedia in the future. For fuck's sake,
Just
just
to
stick
be
with
clear,
it.
there's laptops in 2050.
If you could access the Wikipedia of 2050, is
What
Freddie
would you?
said.
And you have 1 minute.
Yeah,
What do you look up?
I'd probably spend 45 seconds thinking about what to look up.
then go, oh,
Can you
shit.
time me? I'll try not to think.
You're right.
And autocorrect will fuck it all up.
where-
Like,
So I'm not thinking about. I'm just thinking about these leaves.
Ready? And go. Wikipedia loads.
I type in dinosaurs, see what that turns up. I type in my own name to see how that turns up.
would
I'd probably
go
type in the year directly after me to see what turns up as far as what are the big events of that year. And then I'd probably type the next year, and then I'd probably start fucking taking notes about what happened in like 16, 17, 18.
Like 20. So you go a year at a time. 2000.
And then I'd probably skip 10 years, then 20 years. I'd also look up my girlfriend and probably Blade. So I'd like identify my family circle to see if there's anything super
Interesting.
notable.
I want to bring it back because I think it's pretty important that the first thing you said was dinosaurs, which is something that we've studied for 2,000 years. That you have to know what more we've learned over the next 20 years. There's no bigger waste of a future Wikipedia
no.
article of all time.
No. The only way.
Here's where you're wrong, man.
Here's where you're wrong, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, they were green.
No. You're only going to hit the ball if you swing, Matt. So the idea of freezing up and not typing anything is horrible. So I'm just going to start typing. Just start typing. It's like in Taboo, or if you play charades, anybody who's not shouting is wasting it. They're
it's
playing
true.
the game poorly. So start shouting shit out.
I like the year after the year that you are now.
Like, you don't
That's
care
a good
about
one.
this
That's
year.
better than
You
your
want
name
next year.
because your name is like you made it be like, oh shit, there's lots of Matthew Arnold's. Minutes
No, you
up.
go Logan Olsen, you look for like 2016, 2017,
Yeah.
2018. It's like man who died in an explosion. You're like, oh my god.
Could that be me?
Is there a photo? No photo. Fuck.
Google more information about this. Wait.
Oh, no, we have Wikipedia.
Yeah, you only have Wikipedia. That's fun.
The idea of there being a Wikipedia in 2050 is so.
I know, but the point is, it's the encyclopedia.
It's a thought experiment, man.
Thought
Just go with it.
It's a
Oh,
thought
okay.
I think
experiment.
it was Matt who came up with the best answer I've heard to this one.
Okay, what was
Which
it?
was
remember.
it was look up like a list of 21st century natural disasters. So that page in and of itself will have dates and places on it. And then once you have all the information, then you could just go around and sell yourself as like a clairvoyant genius to the governments of the
I'd be
world.
afraid if I prevented a
No,
natural
because
disaster, it'd be a
why
butterfly
natural? No,
effect.
but that's why natural disasters. Because the theory is like, you prevent let's say 9/11. Who knows what else
Yeah,
happens there?
but telling everybody that there's going to be an earthquake is not going to stop a volcano from erupting.
Right,
later.
and an earthquake is still
Who
going to
knows with
happen.
2050 technology?
That's true. That's
You know,
true.
it's like getting what is it like when they get cats to get rid of rats, and now you have to like get snakes to get rid of the
Yeah.
cats. Like you could end up in a domino effect situation.
That's true. But then the point is, then you could just basically be this person who could accurately predict major natural disasters. You probably save the most lives that way.
probably get assainated pretty soon. Once
You
have
probably
the
get
power.
killed pretty fast.
You kept accurately.
Well, you
predicting.
just have
You
to
would
keep-
freak people out.
Yeah, I think that's why I'd keep it low key and
Yeah.
not tell anybody. It'd be
But
like
you would
that
go for
show-
your-
I like
yourself.
property and stuff.
It'd be like that guy who what's that show where like the guy gets the Chicago Tribune for the day after?
Morning after.
Morning after.
Kyle
man.
Chandler,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be you.
the cat. It's a
With the
classic
cat.
show.
Early
Thank you,
edition,
What did I
edition.
say?
What's the morning after?
Morning after.
It's a contraceptive.
What is the morning
No, there's
Wait, so
a
morning? The premise of morning after, he gets a newspaper for 2 days later.
The morning after.
that how you
the morning
one-up
after.
that show
The morning
premise?
after is the spin-off is when he gets the paper from the previous morning and he's like,
What are we gonna do with this?
I'm always behind the times.
All right.
Well,
guys.
Anyways.
that was good.
Well, that's it.
I'm surprised that real quick. I'm surprised that you would go for yourself like that. Most people would. People are 50-50 on that.
Searching for yourself?
Yeah, so a lot of people are like, I would not look up myself at all. Like, I would not want to know.
Do you not want to know how you go?
Like, well, because like you'll
Because
get
you
because
went
you'll
to
get
the
stuff like your own death and what if you had died by that point and like how and all that. And
Really
it's
quick,
just-
have you ever seen one of those stories, one of those time travel stories, where somebody finds out how they die and the way they act is what kills them? And then have you ever seen that story and been like, wow, that was unavoidable? Or the whole time are you just like, that's the stupidest shit? Like, I've never seen one that's like, wow, that's really interesting no matter what, you're going to eventually die that way. It's always like, just don't go to the library. Like, there's no way.
So Matt,
Yeah.
if you were told your own death,
Yeah.
would you try to actively avoid it or just try to live your life?
It depends on how it was. If it was like if my own death was like some sort of illness, I'd be like, well, shit, okay, like that is.
You get hit by a car, and it's like today.
Do they tell you where it happened? Then yes, I would avoid that street.
Right here,
and then
in this
story,
lobby.
that story's always like he tries to avoid it, but he ends up on that street.
So you would
just don't be on that street. There's no situation like.
So you would actively try to get away from the location where they predicted that death.
Yeah, like if they're like, hey, you went on a cruise ship and it sunk. I'd be like, okay, I'm not gonna go on that cruise ship. There's no way in hell I would go on that cruise ship. Whereas it was like time travel stories, always like they somehow end up on it.
You know,
they had to go there.
Unless you get like a sweet free cruise ship vacation, and then there you are.
And you're standing in line.
That's the tough thing. You're staring at it, you're like, well,
If it's free, it's gonna be. It goes to the Bahamas. Like that's pretty cool. Like maybe this isn't the one. Maybe it's the next one. Like
That'd be the worst though. You'd be like, oh, am I supposed to be dying on this plane? Or another? Oh man, I do need to get to this.
I'm a little like yeah, you get your numbers mixed up. So it's like, yeah, die on a highway like 101, and then your driver's like, wait, was it 101 or 110?
110.
And then panic, and you swerve it. Oh god,
Oh,
that's why
look
he
at that.
died.
You shouldn't have been
because he
thinking.
knew the future. That's why he died. Whoa.
this was a really morbid podcast. Think about it.
All right, final words. Final words.
What's Chicky Boo?
That's
Final words.
That's
So a
it.
lot of people
We'll
were
explain it
thinking.
to you. I'll explain to you afterwards.
Period. What's Chicky Boo?
Period.
That's the end.
Chibu's our new
Oh, it's
mascot.
fun.
Guys, I think after
This
100
is fun.
podcasts, I think I think the big conclusion is take care of yourself.
Take
For the
care of
love of
yourself.
God, take care of yourself. And probably 6 years from now, you're going to be a lot better than you were, like spiritually, than you were 6 years where you are now.
Yeah.
You know, for all the cracks we make about this podcast, I do fully appreciate all the time I got to spend with my friends. You know,
Yeah.
so another takeaway: find a crazy excuse if you have to hang with your
Hang with your
bros.
best buds.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And everything's going to turn out okay. Or
It will
maybe
be
it won't.
okay.
And that's okay too.
That's okay too.
Because, you know,
Avoidable.
if 3 of your 4 bros make it to the 6-year mark, that ain't bad.
That ain't bad.
Are we gonna check this back in 2021?
Yeah.
And just be like, how did we do? That'll be the next. That's what it is. That'll be the Face Rocker reunion.
Tess is gone.
That'll be the Face Rocker reunion. Is 2021.
And you call it
Anytime one of us dies,
Facerocker special
every time
edition.
one of us dies, we have to do a reunion so eventually
then there
it'll
were
just be
3.
one of us. Eventually it'll just be one of us. Like, so I don't know why we're doing this.
I like that you
It's
still use
40 years
we, which just
later.
makes it even sadder. I don't know why we're doing this.
This got dark.
And then they just
As things are when it's the last
It's
of
the end,
anything.
man.
Yeah.
You just gotta
That's it.
face it. You gotta face it head
The
on.
only other thing you guys have actually like ended, well, I guess last week at RocketJump is ending.
Yeah, VJHS we ended.
VJHS.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like, so this is the third thing
Yeah.
that's ending at RocketJump, which is
Yeah.
kind of fun. And it's like one of the few ones that like it's not really edited, so it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
it's not like, well, we finished, now we're going to edit. Now it's like, no, it's
No, this
pretty
is
much
This is it. And this is from
Done.
the beginning. This is earlier than anything.
anything. Yeah.
This is it.
That's wild.
I guess we
Wow.
should thank the folks who decided to listen to some of these. You know,
As we like slowly have our existential, like,
as we have our
30-year-old
meltdown here.
crisis.
All the power to you if you listen from the beginning.
I hope you found any bit of this enjoyable or entertaining.
And thank you for Benji.
Benji, you gotta thank Benji. Benji's been hustling,
Alex,
putting these together.
who helped
Alex
during the
Reeves, who spent a lot
years.
of time helping us put
Mid-years.
these together for some time. Darnell has helped before. You know,
all of our sponsors.
There's
all
been a
of our
lot of
fans.
sponsors.
Sponsors, whatever. We don't care about them anymore. We're not using them.
Not really, but
That's
thanks for
it.
some of the cash, I guess.
No, we gave them something for the cash. It wasn't like
I
they
guess.
like gave us free cash.
You're right.
Hey, thanks sponsors for the free cash. No,
I like
we
how
shelled-
thankless Matt is for this.
Matt is
we
so
shelled-
thankless
We shelled their shit. So,
to this sponsored
to
podcast.
this sponsored podcast. Who's sponsoring this podcast?
Do you know Bench?
No, I'm gonna thank them.
It's probably better you don't tell
I'm
Matt
gonna
right
thank
now.
them. Whatever person sponsored this podcast. I mean, you
Sorry.
paid us. You got what you paid for.
Take care, guys.
End of an era.
Happy trails.
Take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
been
Keep
fun.
an eye on youtube.com/RocketJump and then RocketJump Twitter because
Very really quick. You don't need a pitch. You don't need to sell RocketJump.
I was
to
going
anybody who's
to.
listening
I was
to
going
this.
to tell them that Benji's team is going to be doing some good
Oh,
stuff
okay.
next
Sorry.
year.
Go on.
Yeah,
You're-
go ahead. Yeah, I mean, this is the last podcast. So
Yeah.
if there's anyone who, let's presume, there's someone listening to this who doesn't know of anything else,
But
or any
Benji's-
of our digital presence, so let them
Benji-
know where they can.
Benji
Yeah,
Hall
found
is
this
on
on-
like
all I
a
was
set
gonna say-
tape
all I was
at
gonna-
Universal Studios.
All I was gonna say is Benji Hall and Darnell are spearheading the
entire
You don't want to say what their name
lifestyle.
is because I think they're still trying to finalize their name.
But
There's some
regardless,
disagreements.
there's gonna be.
But the three of them are doing cool. They're doing like this week. They're doing Twitch. They're doing shorts. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff.
So keep an eye out.
So what are they doing?
They're doing like all of the this week at like
forward
social-
facing.
All the actual
social-
forward-facing
Are they
audience
the
engagement.
community managers?
No, because
How
community managers
dare
do
you.
more. There's a lot more production involved than just that.
It's like community managers taking to the next.
Take it to the nines.
Take it to the nines.
Super CMs.
So-
Benji, I'm excited. I can't wait to see you on Twitch. You gonna do some painting for us?
Oh, dude, Logan would appreciate what we've done on Twitch.
You gotta have Logan
you gonna
out.
do some Bob Ross or what?
We'll talk
what's
about
the-
what we're doing on Twitch in a second here. But for all of you at home, in your cars, in your waterproof shower radios, I guess. Hoverboards. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us for 100 of these ridiculous episodes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you again soon.
No.